Okay, class. Today we'll be learning about the Communist Manifesto. How does communism work? Well, it works by one country. I was just kidding. It doesn't work. Shut up, Ethan.
Oh, hey. I'm just working on a new Story of Trey episode for the next season. A lot of you have been really curious about my animation process and how I get into making the Story of Trey. Story of Trey is a YouTube series I have if you're new. In this video, I'm going to get into how I make those animations and I'm going to go into the process of it. I'm going to get into writing it, animating it, keyframing it, and so much more. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy this video. You can't see my face right now, but whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna write a short little thing that Trey and his friends can do. I'll just start with scene 1. I don't feel like getting the other camera to show my face as well as what I'm writing. Trey and Ethan, let's just do that. In the classroom. There we go, that's a good setting. So they're just in the classroom and maybe the teacher's there. Mr. Bird, he's the teacher. He can say, how about Mr. Bird says, okay class, today we'll be learning about the Communist Manifesto. If you don't know what the Communist Manifesto is, I don't feel like explaining it. Google it. And then Ethan can say, how does communism work? And Mr. Bird can be all like, well, it works by. And then Ethan can interrupt him and saying, Trey and Ethan are in the classroom. Mr. Bird, okay class, we will be learning about the Communist Manifesto. Ethan can say, how does communism work? Mr. Bird can say, well, it works by. Ethan can interrupt him, just kidding, it doesn't work. Shut up, Ethan. Very original, Trey. And now I'm gonna get on to how I draw the animations. Now, I'm gonna get on to how I drew the animations. And right here is all the drawings I made, all the characters I made for Story of Trey. I organized them and they're actually in alphabetical order. I went through a lot of different art styles for Story of Trey. It started out kind of Simpsons-y, and I got into One Piece. And I liked that art style, and I kind of wanted to like change it into something more realistic like that. Not exactly like One Piece, but I just wanted to like expand on my art style after seeing that anime. So right here we got Trey Fisher, and we have all his little drawings. We have his torso. Wait, that's Andy. I accidentally unorganized it, so I have to reorganize it, but that's Andy, not Trey. Here we go. I have all of those different head turns. Like, I used a glass table and I just had his head turn. So we got his head forward right here, and then his head turned a little bit. I just drew it turning, like that one's turning a little bit. Yeah, I have them all saved. So if I want to like add something to the character, I still have these drawings saved so I can trace over it. I have other videos about how I go into the drawing process, and you can check those out if you want. This is a homemade pea stopper that I made. Just a cylinder I found. I duct taped a towel around it. And what it does is I put this clip mic right here. And if I say vowels that enunciate into the microphone really hard, like puh or buh, it won't get in as aggressively. I'm just gonna voice act those lines. When I do voice act, I like to do some vocal warm-ups. One, to get your lip muscles relaxed, like looks goofy, but you know, it helps get the enunciation better. Sometimes I even like massage my jaw. Another thing I do is I do this vocal warm-up where I go all the octaves so I can easily hit them like this. I just go up and down like that. But that particular vocal warm-up helps me go into different octaves better. Let's just get into this voice acting.
Okay, class. Today we'll be learning about the Communist Manifesto. How does communism work? Well, it works by one country.
And then Ethan's gonna interrupt him and say,
I was just kidding. It doesn't work.
shut up, Ethan. I think that's pretty good. That's all I'm gonna use. Now I'm gonna get onto the keyframing. I'm also gonna get onto how I convert the audio. Yeah. I guess I kind of do the animation the same way South Park does in a sense, where I don't draw, like, for instance, Ed, Edd, and Eddy, that would take a long time to make because they cell animated the show, so like each frame was its own individual thing. But with Story of Trey, it's more computer generated, so it's a lot easier to do it. It's just my own thing, I guess. I got Adobe Premiere open. I'm just going to go to new project. Alright, so we got this blank template, and this is just Premiere Pro for video editing. And the reason we're using this is so we can import the video file that we used when we voiced it. Here it is, raw footage. I'm just going to name this audio. We can drag in the voice acting we did. And now we just have the audio. So I'm just going to have...
Okay, class. Today we'll be learning about the Communist Manifesto.
So we can take that.
How does communism work? Well, it works by one country.
So I say that, and we can have it like he interrupts him right here. I'm going to do it like this.
Well, it works by one country. I was just kidding. It doesn't work.
Shut up, Ethan. That's the audio. It's only 17 seconds long. I'm gonna copy this first audio file. We can paste that first audio frame right here. So now I'm gonna export it. And the reason we're using this video, that's because we can export it into audio files. That's why we're using this video software. But when you export it, we're gonna use a software called Adobe Animate. I like how it works. But the problem with it is it doesn't accept MP3 files. So we're gonna export this as an AIFF file. We're gonna put it into the file we want.
Well, it works by one country. I was just kidding.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. A3. Now we got those audio files. Now we're gonna go to Adobe Animate. Let's go to new file. And then you can choose like 4K and the frame rate right here. I'm just gonna go create, whatever, that's what I want. Now we have a blank document. And what I do is I go to the library panel and we have this library. So I'm just gonna do a new folder and this will be for Trey. All of Trey's movements. And I'm just gonna write bird for Mr. Bird. Now, this is my Story of Trey file. I got all the characters saved onto this folder right here. I'm just gonna drag in Ethan's character, and we got his head turning, we got all the head movements, and that's how I do it. Mike Bird, his first name's Mike. And then we can just drag in Trey Fisher, mouth movements. So these are the different vowels they say when they talk. I even got blinking, because people blink in real life. This is the high school. We can just drag in Mr. Bird's class. We got the front and the back of it. We can just drag in those audio files. And now we got it all. And I'm gonna make sure to save it. I'm just gonna call it bleh. Bleh. I'm gonna drag in the audio file into, you don't do it like that. It doesn't go into the timeline like that. You just drag it into the canvas and then it goes into the timeline. I don't know why, it just does.
Okay, class. Today we'll be learning about the Communist Manifesto.
And then I'm gonna add a layer for the background. So we got the locations, and maybe he's like right in front of his class. And then I'm gonna add another layer for the character. And maybe we just draw, it's a little big, and we can scale it down. And I'm gonna make that the same percent, so it kind of matches. We can drag in the arm, and I found this, this is called Asset Warp Tool. Click the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. And then we can bend it. Wait, shit, not like that, but we can bend it like that. And when you copy it, it kind of does that sometimes. I do not know why it does that. So this is my simple way of animating. But then when I add the pupils and mouth, I add a different layer. Each character has like different colored pupils. Maybe he's looking down at the class like that. And I got his eyebrows and copy that, paste that. So now we got his basic outline for how we're gonna animate. Kind of realize that if you click this layer right here, and you want to add some shading, you can go to Properties, add this, bevel, whatever that means. And you add this blur and it kind of gives like a nice shade to it. I'm gonna angle it like right here. Maybe we can add some more blur. I don't know if everyone likes this, but I kind of like the feeling of like shading in the animation. I'm just gonna go like, maybe his eyebrows raise. I'm gonna click that layer and I'm gonna right click this and add keyframe. And his eyebrows might raise a little bit. Oh yeah, we can't see what's behind it until we click onion layer. Then we can kind of like see the layer behind it. So now his eyebrows move up. I'm gonna add a keyframe for his head. I'm gonna delete the head and maybe it turns a little bit. His head maybe turns like that way. And then we'll have to make his pupils move with his face. So we can just drag him like that. And then I like adding blinking too. We can just add a blink. Maybe he squints a little bit. Scale it down, copy, paste. And then his eyes close completely right here. So yeah, now we got this.
Okay, class. Today we'll be learning about the Communist Manifesto.
So now I'm gonna add his mouth movements. And that's kind of the most tedious part. Because you just sit there going like, duh. And it's like he opens his mouth a little bit. And we delete that mouth and we go, and then the O vowel, I think. The straight oo vowel. Maybe he goes like, o. The C vowel, like where he goes, k. So we just add these vowels right here. So let's just do that as an example. That's how you animate the mouth movements. If you want to like add a scene, let's say we finish this scene, it's all done. I usually go to insert, scene, and that's like the next shot of what they're gonna say. Do the same thing we did, but this is gonna be a different character saying something. Go back to audio, and this is the second audio file. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's how I do it. I think I'm gonna stop there, but stay tuned for more tunes, films, and music, and have a great day. Thank you for watching that video. We have animation tutorials, media tutorials, tunes, films, and music. So stay tuned and have a great day.
These tunes.